What's up, Doc? My name is Ryan from True North Reviews, and today we'll be doing episode 8 of Hot and Cold. This is a video series where I like to pick out the best, known as the hot, the worst, known as the cold, and the middle of the road tracks that have been released over the past week. And if you notice that there's a great song that I just didn't check out this week, feel free to pass it along to me. I'm always willing to check out new music. But kicking off this list that I've assembled based on my opinion for the best songs from August 5th until August 11th, I'll be first talking about Play by Dave Grohl. And this one's one of the hot tracks just because of how excited it really got me before listening to the song, and it didn't let me down after listening to it either. It's got an expanded form. It's 23 minutes long as an instrumental, just feeling like a classical piece of music with its sections, almost like a prog metal song the way that Dave plays it. Really something like Rush or Dream Theater might tackle. But yeah, it's explained to Jimmy Kimmel that Dave Grohl wrote this song just to see if he could record everything in uninterrupted takes without messing up. And oh yeah, he plays all the instruments like he did back in the origin days of Foo Fighters while adding orchestral percussion like a vibraphone or timpani along the way. Very bold and ambitious before I even hear the song. The clave blocks and the groove right before the 6-minute mark of this track is my favorite part of this epic and opus of a song. And sometimes the bass is even strummed like a guitar, very unique and fresh. We get some sludgy and thick bass just before the 14-minute mark before fooling around with time signatures, which is something that you always have to do in such a long track, before building up this extended crescendo with cymbal crashes. And then around the 15-minute mark, we get a Foo Fighters-esque jam-out session before exploring some double time and later some cut time on the drums. Man, Dave Grohl just pulls out all the musical stops on this that come to his mind, and he just makes it seem like magic. And it's not just the music that's the impressive part to this. There's a really interesting music video for it too. In this video, it shows off all these versions of Grohl playing in the studio like he's the entire band. And the first 8 minutes of the video are really compelling too. It's like Grohl is comparing how he's mastering his instruments while never settling, the same way that his own kids or other children might be picking up an instrument for the first time. Essentially, Dave Grohl just has this drive or interest to play an instrument like it's his first time every time picking it up, and he's really just motivating himself to take it to the next level creatively. And he even admits that in the music video where he gets behind these orchestral percussion instruments for the first time. Lastly, this track really comes at a weird point for rock music, not really holding up to what rap is for sales or commercial success, but still a welcomed experiment to put out into the world that could ultimately shake up the landscape for rock artists. Like sure, we've had the smaller named artists that have put out longer and meandering forms to their songs, but it just throws an extra spice or two into the mix to see if bigger names in the industry will follow suit. Other than the sellouts, obviously, but props to Dave Grohl either way for boldly putting this song out in a time where rock music doesn't get as much of the spotlight compared to its heyday in the 20th century. The next hot track for the week is called Levitate by 21 Pilots. This is the third single to have been put out for Trench, and it's the best of the 3 that have been released at this point. I really do dig the hip-hop influence. We get a lot of scratch samples in the background. It's mixed with some hard, tight rock drumming. And the rap flow is very new and exciting for Tyler Joseph. I feel like he hasn't really done this before, so yeah, this track is really riveting. Another hot track is called Thunderclouds by LSD featuring Sia, Labrinth, and Diplo. Not only does the production thump, but Sia and Labrinth connect on a deeper level with my soul just based on their vocals. It's also lyrically interesting too, offering some deeper messages about relationships that just don't seem to be talked about as much in mainstream music. But either way, a great track. Next up, we get the song Barbie Dreams by Nicki Minaj. This is for her newest album, Queen. And this song's all about female empowerment while lining up the male contemporaries, while delivering an homage to Notorious B.I.G. with his song Just Playing Dreams. Nicki Minaj just hits hard on this new song. The beat switch up at the end just blew my mind. The joke disses about Drake crying, Lil Uzi Vert taking an L literally, and calling out DJ Khaled for being a hyper-masculine man. Nicki just kills it. Slowing it down a bit with a 6/8 love ballad, we get the song Let's See What the Night Can Do by Jason Mraz. And this is the opening track from Jason's newest record, No. And what really stands out for me on this is just how great it sounds for like a live kind of atmosphere. The band that backs up Jason just plays a beautiful part for this song, really contributing an element or two to push the chemistry and the synergy while simultaneously pushing the beat forward. It should quickly become a fan favorite for concerts and just how intimate it plays for the singer-songwriter genre. Moving on from that, we get Thunder Truck by Monster Truck. I really wonder how much time they really put into naming this song. But this Hamilton group explores their take on heavy metal, as there's a lot of low register riffs and tremolo in the guitar playing. It's like they're now experimenting with thrash. Hard, fast, aggressive drumming, as well as sludgy, distorted bass and guitar. It's really a peppy piece of music that is super badass, all building over top of this hypnotic organ that opens the track. Now rounding out the hot tracks is a song by Ryan Hemsworth. This one is called Think About You. And man, the minimalist features on this are just done right. The melody stands strong and the production complements the looming falsettos in the backdrop. It's a simple yet elegant track. Now onto the middle of the road kind of songs here that I've picked out. They weren't the best, they weren't the worst, but they're still worth keeping on your radar. First up, we get Troye Sivan's newest single, Animal. And this one clicks with me for the final minute 30 seconds with the spacey and atmospheric keyboard, synthesizer, and tripped out percussion. The first half of the track is really a slow burner that just meanders and doesn't really feel like it's fully thought out for the real intro, but again, the last leg of the song is really interesting. And then we get Album of the Year, Freestyle by J. Cole. I am a fan of the AC/DC adapter pun. Damn, it's pretty witty actually. As well as the sports references being really relatable, but this song is just laughable for how boring KOD was as an album. I just really can't take J. Cole serious on this track when he says that KOD is Album of the Year. I do appreciate his flow on this new single. Thankfully, he does switch up from his usual triplet flow that he uses in his rhythm. And the production is passable too, so I'll give it to him. It's a decent track. Another single to have been dropped post-record release last week was put out by Kanye West. And this one's called Ecstasy, and man, Kanye can really just talk about anything at this point. And we really know this from his older material plus the intro cut on Ye, where he talks about killing himself while keeping everything on the table as an option. But on top of that, he also just seems to offend everyone where he goes with the Make America Great Again hat. Really not a lot of people are on his side at this point. But to make matters worse, he does say that he wants to have sex with his stepsisters now. And of course, Kim Kardashian, as well as all the other Kardashians, seem to be okay with it. I don't know. They just seem to understand that he's going to have his controversial lyrics that tend to get him more reaction in the mainstream media. Artistically speaking, though, to what extent should we use these controversial things to get more success? But back to the music, this song feels like a joke similar to what I Love Kanye was for comedic relief on The Life of Pablo. But with this new track this time round, there's actually an instrumental to go along with it. And it's okay, the Kanye fans will obviously like it and laugh at it. The Kanye haters will continue to hate. I'm a fan. I laughed at the scoop-de-whoops at the end. I feel like he's just trying to get under everyone's skin at that point. But overall, I think it's a meh kind of song. Obviously not gonna come close to any other song put out by Kanye. And to round out this episode, I only picked out one cold track. I didn't want to rip apart a lot of artists this week. I just wanted to stay positive. But if I had to pick the worst song that I heard over the past week, it was called To Be Free by Passenger. This one's a slow piano ballad that will make you snore, really just all over the place with the form. I don't really know when each section really transitions between one to another. It's really just too story-oriented in the lyrics to have much of a melodic stick. But hey, I still see the attraction for fans of Passenger. I just prefer the last album that was put out in 2017. And there you have it, there's episode 8 of Hot and Cold. Let me know what you're thinking. Sound off down below in the comments. Agree or disagree, I'm here to engage with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My name is Ryan from True North Reviews. And as always, have a rockin' day. Thanks for watching.